If you get investigated for and charged with a DUI in Orlando, Florida, a common question I get a lot is, how much is this going to cost me? I was sitting down with a client the other day who came in for a consult. It was their first time DUI. We went over the facts of the case, and I explained to them that one of the big things of a DUI case is the cost involved. The state of Florida and governmental agencies try to make this as costly as possible, so it's a detriment for people to commit these types of crimes. But I will tell you that is one of the more costly crimes to commit in Florida. Now, it will cost you in one of several ways. It will cost you just by court costs and fees, having to bail out of jail. Depending on the severity of the DUI, just the bail alone could cost you several $100s or several $1,000s. Assuming you have no other option other than to take a plea, depending on what level of DUI it is, whether it's a first time, second time, or a third time, it will depend on the cost. But generally, a first time DUI is going to cost you several $1,000s just in court costs, fines. The classes that are mandated as part of the sentence have to be paid for. Community service hours can be purchased depending on the judge that you're in front of. Some judges don't allow it, some do. If they do, then that is paid for as a cost. Investigation costs are tacked onto it. So there are a whole host of costs that come along with a DUI should you have to enter a plea, and that's your only choice. Now, if you defend the case or if you hire an attorney, then that cost will be in addition to having to hire an attorney. So if you hire the attorney such as myself, for a first-time DUI, the going rate is $3,000 for that type of case, and that case doesn't include paying for any of those costs that I had mentioned, the court costs, the fines. So the attorney's fees would be in addition to that. So as you can see, those costs and the expense of a DUI quickly add up. And also, a cost during the DUI is caused by the driver's license suspension. So many times people can have the adverse consequence of losing a job and not being able to go to the job as often as possible. This will result in a loss of financial income to the party and can end up costing them in having to pay for ride services such as Uber or Lyft or anything like that. So once you add all these costs together, some end up being upwards of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, up to $10,000 depending on the unique circumstances of a particular DUI. It's very important to contact an attorney who has handled these types of cases in Orlando, Florida, as they are each very unique and they each carry with themselves their own set of sanctions and specific costs and expenses, court costs, fees, the amount of community service, the amount of classes and the types of classes that you have to take, all which can cost a differing amount of money. So all of this, it comes into play into having to resolve your DUI case, but it is critical to get an attorney involved in the case. Even though it's an additional cost, it could help you in possibly getting the case dismissed, minimizing the case, minimizing the effects on your record, and or getting you a better resolution of the case. So if you have any other questions about how much a DUI may cost you in Orlando, Florida, please don't hesitate to contact the Victory Law Firm.